This is a story about the 2007 Little League All-Star team from Buena Park, California. This remarkable team won the District 29 championship and finished in second place in the sectional championship games. What makes these boys so remarkable is while other leagues have 96 to 120 boys to pick their all-star teams from, this Buena Park all-star team was picked from just 36 boys. Buena Park, here are your young champs. "13 teams started the All-Star Tournament, and while Coach James was confident in our pitching, he hoped our hitting would be up for the challenge. Christopher Rivera showed us the way when he put the very first pitch of the game over the fence. This happened so quickly that only the number 2 and 3 batters were there to congratulate him when he crossed home plate. I think the rest of the team was putting the gear away still. Congratulations, Christopher." Christopher, also known as Papo, just kept on hitting. And with Christopher on first, J.J. Ray took one for the team. Ouch. And Kyle Schultz drove them both in with a single to left. He took second on the throw home, the way a good base runner should. And with Kyle on second base, Ricky Marquez, ouch, took one for the team. "He hit me right there, Coach." And then Cole Tim doubled right up the middle. What happened next was scary. Isaiah Terrazas got a single, and as he was rounding first, Cole Tim thought, on the throw to first, I'll go home. But they threw back to third right away and hit Cole Tim in the face. This was symbolic because it seemed like the whole series Cole Tim was either hitting the ball or getting hit by the ball. Everybody held their breath. But Cole's a tough kid. He walked it off with a little help from James and stayed in the game. Ryan Morgan picked that moment to hit a triple. A nice shot to right field. And when he gets to third base, I want you to notice Coach James's face. He's smiling from ear to ear, and when the coach smiles, you know we're ahead. Even if they tried to take the coach's head off, which they almost did on that shot, you couldn't stop James from smiling. "Oh no, you're not going to ruin my day." Meanwhile, Christopher Rivera did what Chris does best. They couldn't hit his fastball. So they did the next best thing. They hit the ground. Anyway, Christopher Rivera got our very first win for us. And that night, Fred Rogan summed it up on the nightly news.
A couple of weeks ago, we told you that if you see any outstanding performances in a Little League, a Pony League, or a softball game, we want you to send them to us, all right, so we can show everybody. Here's Chris Rivera at the plate, playing for Buena Park American. The 12-year-old had a great performance against East LA, East La Mirada, I should say, hitting this homer. But he wasn't done. Rivera was out on the mound with 14 strikeouts in the game. Buena Park won at 11-1, could later be playing for a possible trip to the Little League World Series.
The next game, Coach James gave the ball to Kyle Schultz. And listen to this. You hear the ball hit the bat? Well, the kid's coach didn't think so. He came out and told the umpire, "Hey, that ball hit his finger. Show him your finger, kid." Anyway, the umpire seemed to agree with the coach and sent the young man to first base. The reason I'm pointing that out is because that one pitch meant the difference between Kyle pitching a no-hitter and a perfect game. Kyle struck out 15, and that's the only kid that made first base. Meanwhile, the only trouble Kyle got into was the very next batter. He hit a ball deep to center field, but J.J. Ray flagged it in. Nice catch, J. Ray. After the catch, Kyle said thanks to J. Ray, and J. Ray replied, "I got your back, man." He really did. Nice going. Meanwhile, our bats kept going. Kyle Schultz stroked the single to left. And with Devin Smith on second and Kyle Schultz on first, J.J. Ray came up and he got a single. Oh, mistake. He overran the ball, which allowed Kyle to score. And with Andrew Romano on second and J.J. Ray at first, the Little League pitcher uncorks a wild pitch, which allows Andrew Romano to move over to third. And then Cole Tim hit his first of 2 home runs that he would hit during the tournament. A shot to left center. Ladies and gentlemen, Cole Tim has left the building. Meanwhile, Kyle Schultz went on to strike out 15 batters and get his no-hitter. Once again, Fred Rogan summed everything up on the nightly news.
We asked you for it, and you keep delivering outstanding plays from Little League, Pony League, or softball, like this great performance tonight from pitcher Kyle Schultz of Buena Park American. Schultz, a great outing on the mound against Little League. The 12-year-old struck out 15, was working on a no-hitter. Had some help here. A long fly ball to center field. J.J. Ray with a falling grab to save the no-hitter. Schultz got it. Buena Park advanced in the Little League playoffs with a 7-0 win.
The next game, Coach James gave the ball to Ryan Morgan. And Ryan Morgan brought a great curveball to the game. They had problems hitting it, all right. Strike 3. Nice going, Ryan. Meanwhile, Luke Schultz got us started with a base hit. And his older brother Kyle figured, well, if my kid brother can do it, I can do it. Nice hit. And then Christopher Rivera puts one out of the park. This time everyone was at home plate to congratulate him. And right about now, Steve Rivera has to be the proudest father on the whole field. And Kyle Schultz doubles again, this time to center field. And as he slides into second base, the umpire says, "You know, son, if you would have overslid the bag, and he tagged you, you would have been called out. And after a wild pitch, he does the exact same slide at home plate. And he scored. Then Ryan Morgan kept throwing that deceptive pitch, and they just couldn't hit him. Ryan Morgan pitched a shutout, and before you knew it, there were only 2 undefeated teams left in the whole tournament, and we were one of them. Christopher Rivera led the way with a home run in game number 1 against Continental. And if you notice, everybody came out to congratulate him on this one. What a big game. Clayton Visen then followed with the best bunt I ever saw. What are we going to do next? Well, after a pass ball, Coach gave Ryan Morgan the bunt sign, and he laid down another great bunt. And with men on the corners, Coach James gave the steal sign, hoping for the throw to second so that the man on third can score. And score he did. Nice call, Coach. We'll gladly give up an out for a run any day. Kyle Schultz singles up the middle, and we start to think, hey, we're looking pretty good. Cole Tim picks this time to hit a triple.
There you go.
Almost stopped at second. Nice slide. We got in there, and as you see, Coach James is smiling again. Good sign. Nice catch. Isaiah. What was a good memory for you, Isaiah?
Snatching that line drive from first base.
Was a good memory for us, too. So let's see it again. Nice catch, Isaiah. But then a chill came over the place as Ryan Morgan took off his glove, obviously in pain. Everybody was scared. Well, not everybody.
The funniest thing I can recall is a game that my son was catching, and they had to stop the game and inspect his hand because the pitcher was throwing so hard his hand began to swell.
Well, the coaches sympathized with him. Center fielder Kyle Schultz sympathized. Talk about tough love. Were you coaches in the Marines?
I played catcher in the Marine Corps.
Well, that explains it. Thankfully, he was all right. Continental was tired of watching Christopher Rivera hit the ball, so they decided to walk him. Now let's take our chances with their number 2 batter, Sam Carleo. Meanwhile, I don't know if the catcher was getting signals or checking his time, but they pitched to Sam. And he stroked one, which scored Christopher. I can almost read Sammy's mind. You see, fellas, I'm an all-star too. Kyle Schultz is the next batter. And he strokes a nice one.